Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday afternoon. Welcome into the latest edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Randy Lee. We'll be with you for the next hour, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. It is signing day eve, the early signing period, which has become the de facto national signing day for college football. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit, obviously, look at some of the prospects. Auburn gets another commitment today. Elijah McAllister, a transfer from Vanderbilt. Last one worked out pretty good. Donovan Kaufman's been he's been very serviceable. He's been a very productive player. We'll see with this guy. He's a one-year rental. He's a guy that's going to be kind of his sixth year, I think. He was a class of 2018. But that's edge rusher. Auburn is absolutely desperate for edge rushers. This is going all the way back, to the Gus Malzahn era. We have neglected offensive line. We got a really good chance to make up some really good ground on that front in this class. But due to the Brian Harsin era, we have let the edge rushers and the defensive line in general to be basically depleted to almost a bare bone. So this is a huge position of need. Edge rusher Dylan Brooks, really the only one coming back and on scholarship right now. So need as many as we can get, and we'll look down through there. We'll break this down a little bit as far as who's committed, who's projected to Auburn, and maybe who's possibly we got a chance at. We'll see. But we'll talk about that. Auburn basketball, they got a game tomorrow night against Washington, trying to bounce back from a loss against USC. What's going on with this team? What do you think? How concerned should we be? These questions arise. It seems like every year we kind of, at least ponder these questions at some point during this season, it seems like. But we'll talk about these things much more. Maybe get a little thoughts on your thoughts on the World Cup. I went back. I didn't see it live, but I went back and watched it.
How great was it?
It's the first time I've ever watched a tape-delayed soccer game. I'll be honest with you. But unbelievable.
It was, wasn't it?
And that's what I told people yesterday, and I was talking to David. I said, a lot of people look at soccer and, just your average football fan or your average sports fan, and they say, soccer is, I just can't get into it. It's mainly because all they've ever seen is the United States.
Yeah.
No. Go and watch Argentina and France. That's what it's supposed to look like. Oh, my goodness, that was so good. The second half especially it was phenomenal. But anyway, we'll talk about that a little bit. Love to get your thoughts. Love to get your reaction. What is your projection for Auburn? How high? Let's ask that. Where do you think this class can get to tomorrow? Now, there are going to be some guys that are not going to sign. They're going to be signing a little bit late, probably maybe on into January. And I don't even think Jeremiah Cobb, he may sign tomorrow, but I don't think he's going to announce until later on with the rest of the people at Montgomery Catholic. Apparently that's something that they do. So that might be something, you just keep your eye on.
It's a good problem to have when you need to have a whole grouping of you signed to go somewhere. It means there's a little talent around.
This is true.
I applaud that they do that as a school, and they've got enough talent out there that it's worthy of not just having one simple signee.
That's a fair point. So I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Where do you think this class ends up? I think right now, if you look at it, 24/7 ranking, they're at 26. coming from about 50 from where we were a couple of weeks ago, that's pretty good. I think 29th if you want to take the composite of all the rankings. So, how high can this class get to, and what kind of job do you think Hugh Freeze is doing right now and the work that he has done since he became head coach? We'll talk about these things and much more. 256-234-6221. That's our number here, or you can dial us up on the Sportz Blitz Facebook page, that's Sports with a Z, and comment away. We appreciate all of you out there spending your lunch hour with us. Randy, I know you're continuing to play hard a little bit. We appreciate you being with us today.
Well, I'm much better than I was on Saturday. I do want to apologize to those that tuned into our programming on Saturday. I'd get about 8 words in, and I'd call for about 30 seconds, and then I'd come back and get about 8 or 10 more words in, and it was worthy of what ended up happening to me the remainder of that day. I haven't had the flu very often, but if it wasn't the flu, then I don't know what it felt like. So I am fighting an uphill battle here, but I think I'm much better than I was. So, Andy, you going to let me start with the World Cup?
Hey, man, you can go wherever you want.
Well, there's a good thing with laying around in a bed thinking that you've got the flu. And the only reason I say that I'm thinking is I went and got tested, and I was negative for COVID and the flu. But I felt as bad as I ever have. So, but I got to watch World Cup,
Maybe
and I got to watch it.
A new bug.
And I got to watch it a few times.
Oh, yeah.
That's how into it that I was, and it was just as good a soccer match as you possibly could have, with all the stakes as high as they were. Argentina comes out 2-0. Messi's doing his thing. Argentina's doing their thing, and Mbappe.
Dominant.
Well, Mbappe has 11 total touches in the first half of that game. And he was I heard this said a number of times, so it's not just my opinion, but, that was a good France team with a superstar. You watch the rest of that France team, and there was no superlatives to add until he woke up with about 20 minutes left to go in the contest, and he just said, just sit back and watch. I'm about to show you what greatness is. And through that and the extra time, that's exactly what he did. He made a couple of plays that nobody else in the world, outside of maybe a couple, Messi being one, could make. But, the stars aligned. It was Messi's turn, and the good Lord wasn't going to allow this one not to go his way, is kind of the way that I saw it at the end. And once they got penalty kicks, the goalie for Argentina was just far superior to the goalie and penalty kicks that France threw out there. And that's what ended up working out. If anything can made to be look easy in soccer, which any of us, Andy being a very good soccer player back in the day, but, not on the form of Messi, but he is worthy of sitting over here and talking to about this. Things that look easy in soccer aren't.
No.
Like corner kicks where you get a head on the ball and you can angle that ball into a corner of just go out there with no one around. Just you and a guy kicking corner kicks, and there's a goal right there, and see how many out of, give yourself 50 chances. See how many times you can get a head on a cross coming in and put it in the back of the net. I'm going to go for the normal person, 0. 0 out of 50 can get their head on the ball on a corner and actually put it in the back of the net. But these guys that goal that Mbappe had on that kind of bounce back ball that's up in the air, and he has to, get that one into the corner, and he kind of kicks it low. Gosh, that's a 1 in 100 chance to hit that ball as perfect as he did. So it was great. I understand where people come from, because if you haven't gotten a passion for that sport when you watch it and the final score is 1-0, then you can say, man, it sure was boring. But for me, that has grown to love that sport, the beauty of a 1-0 match is every kick counts, though. Like, I can watch a baseball game, and I played baseball, and I grew up playing baseball, and I probably played that sport more than any other one that I did. I love it, but my gosh, there's an unbelievable amount of downtime. Yeah. There's no way to, I've got a son that's 9 years old, and the odds of me getting him to play baseball and stand there with a thumb up his you-know-what for about 2 hours is 0. He cannot withstand. He's an ADD kid. He's bouncing off walls. And I don't know where he got it from, but he's bouncing off walls. And, So a sport like soccer that keeps you committed to what's going on out there is a little bit more for him. So I think it's growing in passion here in the U.S. I don't even know if in our lifetime they get to the level of soccer that we saw on Sunday. But even with that being said, when it's a World Cup and you don't have a team to cheer for, you can get behind somebody like Messi and make it enjoyable.
It's like any other sport, when the ball comes to Messi or MB, they just look different.
They do.
You can just tell it's just different when they have the ball. And they were stars. I mean, you have a hat trick from one, and Messi gets 2 goals the other way. They both score in the penalty. I mean, it was just the way that it happened, the way that, it was just, Argentina was just cruising. They were just, everybody essentially, it was almost to the point to relate it to football of like Thompson and Auburn. It was almost to that point where it was just like, they were celebrating and the French were crying. And then all of a sudden you blinked and it was 2-2 and you were like, what just happened? It was
greatness just happened.
That doesn't happen very often.
28-3. Yeah. 28-3, New England playing Atlanta.
That's it.
All of a sudden you wake up and Tom Brady happened.
Yeah.
And you're like questioning, how in the world does this guy pull one miracle out of the hat and another? And same in that match. Unfortunately for both teams, there was another one on the opposite side that was equal to you, and that's kind of the way that it played out.
True. We'll switch gears and actually talk about some Auburn football when we come back. Don't go anywhere. More to come on this edition of the Auburn Blitz.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls, LLC.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
Concrete Basement and Walls LLC, 205-229-0234. Call owner Eric McKenzie now to get your free quote now. 205-229-0234. Concrete Basement and Walls LLC.
No monthly payments until springtime at Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika. New Chevy Silverado 1500 trucks discounted up to $9,250 off. Chevy Equinox up to $5,500 off, or payments as low as $369 a month. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way at Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you, just getting started on today's show. About 45 more minutes. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We are brought to you each and every day by Big Fish Real Estate for all your real estate needs here in the Lake Martin area, as well as down there on the coast. Give them a call today, 551-BIG-FISH, or look them up, bigfishlakemartin.com. Randy, I think we got a phone call.
Scott, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, guys. How are y'all today?
Good, Scott. Glad to have you.
Glad to be here, guys. I really enjoy y'all's show. I was talking to Kane on the line while we was on delay there for a little bit, and I enjoy it. Very nice guys. Hey, I was going to talk to you a little bit about the quarterback, the portable quarterbacks. I noticed we missed out on a couple. What I hear, I know one definitely to Kentucky. And I hear the other one may be doing something else. But I did read online about 6, 7, 8 minutes ago that Hank Brown from Lipscomb, I think Hugh Freeze was really recruiting him. He signed a while ago. Or he committed. I'm sorry, he didn't sign. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all know about that?
Yeah, just saw that come across. Devin Leary did commit to Kentucky. The Coastal Carolina kid, there's still, some academic issue there. I don't know exactly what that is all about, but yeah, the Hood, he was from Nashville, Tennessee, was committed, I think, or headed to Liberty, and that now obviously, with Freeze coming over, and it didn't, his offers I think were from UAB, which was his high school coach, Trent Dilfer, but. He's kind of an intriguing guy. I don't know a lot about him. Hadn't had a chance to look and watch any kind of film on him. But certainly if Freeze wanted him at Liberty, it makes sense that he would want him at Auburn.
Right, exactly. I agree. And also Dilford at UAB, yeah. There was 2 or 3 schools, not big-time schools, but I call us big-time, Wardam Eagle, of course.
Yeah.
But I watched a little bit of his highlights earlier, and he seems really athletic and a good arm. Got to put some size on him, but some weight. But it seems like a good athlete. Also, on the basketball team, I tell you what, I just don't. I can't figure them out. You know what I mean? They sometimes they're lazy feet. I call it. Coached basketball back in junior high, and seem like they're just lazy feet, and then all of a sudden they kick in and start doing something right, and then all of a sudden they go back to doing something wrong. What do y'all think?
Yeah, 23 turnovers is completely unacceptable. That they're not good enough to overcome that. The chemistry on the team I wonder about. I don't know. I'm like you. It just seems like they go in spurts. They've got the talent if they could ever put it together and everybody could do their job, on a consistent basis. I think they could be very competitive, and I think still they'll end up making the tournament. But right now they just don't. I mean, they look like a bubble team at best.
Yes, sir. I agree. Yeah, but they just think we ain't got the rhythm down, and I agree with you. They'll make the tournament. We'll get on a run maybe later on this season. We ain't peaked, and that's a good thing. Seems like last 2 or 3 years we've peaked a little bit early, in my opinion, and maybe that's a good sign. Maybe we'll peak later on like we're supposed to. Guys, I really appreciate you. I've been watching y'all the last couple of weeks. Kane was telling me y'all on every day up here in North Alabama. They don't show it every day, but I'll be looking out for you, and I appreciate. Thanks for taking my call here.
Thank you so much, Scott. We appreciate you, and
we'll see if we can't get on up there ever.
Yeah, we would like to make that happen, and we've got some guys that are looking out for us up there in the Birmingham and Northern Alabama market, and so hopefully we can get that straightened out. But I'm with both of you when it comes to this basketball team. I think there's a few players that we expected maybe a little bit more out of that has just not found their way yet, Traore being one of those. The young guy still has a lot of talent, a lot of size, a lot of length. So it's not that I'm so far down on him that he can't find his way. I really feel like we're going to have to lean heavily on Trey Donaldson the second half of the season. Let's hope Wendell Green comes back healthy, and when he does, that adds most of the punch on the offensive side. If you're expecting somebody to get 20-plus points and do it on a consistent basis, he feels like the only one on this Auburn squad that's going to do that. But, I'm going to say the same thing I've said in years past. This has the feeling of, a few years ago when we had a sub-500 year. And we had pieces on that team, including Alan Flanagan, who really had an up year that year, averaging about 14 points per game. But for the most part, never felt like we were getting it together. But, I think that's today's basketball, and I think you're going to have to suck it up and deal with that from time to time. If you're expecting a whole new 5 or a whole new 4 out of the top 7 coming in, and you are within a 3 or 4 month period expected to put this team together and have them gel and have them ready to compete on a top-tier level in the SEC and nationally year in and year out, probably not going to happen. Because somebody like Traore that you were expecting 12 to 14 points a game from and to be a standout, they're going to be a freshman and they're going to act like a freshman. In other years, you're going to have Jabari Smith, doesn't look like a freshman, never did from the moment that he stepped on campus. But it is what it is. But you'll never hear a negative comment come out of my mouth about this basketball program as long as Bruce Pearl's at the helm. Count that. I committed to that, and I shall stick to that. Because I never thought we'd be in the situation that we're in now, never believed it, and we are. So Bruce will figure it out. If he doesn't, there'll be another year.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's exactly what Charles Barkley said.
Yeah.
Look, Bruce has completely transformed the basketball program, and I got nothing. And I say, look, I mean, you can criticize, and you can say, well, I wish we'd have done this, and I wish we'd have done that. Why didn't we go after this guy? Why didn't we recruit that guy? All that's valid, and that's fine. And but that doesn't. And I might say those things, and I probably, and I'll certainly mean those things. But I wouldn't trade Pearl for anybody.
Me neither.
Yeah, ever. I mean, So that's not what this is about. So, but yeah, I mean, I think Christian Westry and Traore, those are the two guys that you look at and go, man, I thought especially because of what they did in Israel.
Yeah.
And then I thought,
you thought you'd get 20 a game counting the two together.
Yes.
And what are you getting, about 4?
Nothing.
2 or 3, 4?
Right now you get nothing.
Yeah.
But Trey Donaldson has answered the bell a little bit.
He has.
And that's a guy that you were pretty high on coming in.
Well, he's a physical guy in a position that we haven't thrown a lot of physicality out there.
Yeah.
So it's a change-up of look and a change-up of overall scheme when he's on the court. And it's a good feel to me when he's out there.
Definitely. And Jason Caldwell made a good comparison. Him and Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
That kind of feel that he can take control. Up against another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Growing your business isn't just one thing. It's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
Russell Building Supply and Home Center is just around the corner in a brand new convenient location with a wide selection of grills, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. The new store offers more home improvement items along with other helpful conveniences like a drive-through lumber yard and our Best Rewards program, making it an ideal destination for do-it-yourselfers and professional contractors. Get ready for game day on the plains by stocking up on all your Auburn tailgating gear at Russell Building Supply and Home Center.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you for about 30 more minutes in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us, brought to you each and every day by Russell Do-It Center. They got 10 locations around Central Alabama for all your building supply, home decor, tools, whatever it might be. Go and check out Russell Do-It Center today. You'll be glad that you did. A few more shopping days left for Christmas, so go on, drop by one of those 10 locations and check them out. Let's go back to the phone line.
Terry, you're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, guys, how y'all doing today?
We're great, Terry. Glad to have you.
Good to have you. Good to talk to y'all. Has anybody ever told y'all that Andy and Randy, when y'all are going to sound like a Saturday morning cartoon show?
No, I haven't heard that, but we've heard some other things about the two of us on the air together, but that's a new one.
Okay, well, I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
Guys, y'all starting to get the impression, and I've had the idea all along, that Hugh Freeze has got a lot of faith in Robbie Ashford and what he can turn into. Now, if a quarterback just falls in his lap, I could see him taking him, but I think he's just got a lot of faith, and he likes those athletic quarterbacks.
Well, I don't think that he looks at the quarterback room and thinks that he doesn't have somebody that he can work with, and he's proven to kind of be the quarterback whisperer, and he can take those athletic guys and make them versatile enough to throw the football around. So I can tell you this, I've got a lot of faith in him with Robbie Ashford because I think there's a tremendous skill set there to work with.
Well, the one guy that jumped in the portal that I've lost track of was a kid at Georgia Tech, and he put up really solid numbers. Do you know what's become of that? I don't know if it's a matter of Auburn's interested or not interested, or Georgia Tech, Auburn aren't that far apart.
That's a good question. I remember the name, but I can't. I know there was some initial interest, or at least his name was mentioned, but I'm like you. That kind of went by the wayside, and I haven't heard it since.
Yeah, because you heard so much about the kid out of Coastal Carolina, and now the kid out of North Carolina State who's, that went to Kentucky today. I got down the Brown kid. He's a big kid. He's like 6'4", 195. Sounds like one of those guys that a basketball player signs out of high school to a place, and next thing you know, by the time he's senior, 6'11", 275.
Yeah, it feels like a kid that Hugh Freeze had his eye on for quite some time, not only to Auburn but to Liberty. And I'm with Andy, and I'm with the previous caller that we had that discussed that. If he was good enough to go play for him at Liberty, I think he's probably good enough to be given a chance here at Auburn.
Sure, and he's looking to bolster the depth of the quarterback room. Let's be honest.
All right, Terry. Jeff Sims from Georgia Tech transferred to Nebraska.
He went to Nebraska.
That's courtesy of Luke Robinson.
Goodness gracious. Okay, let me switch to basketball for a second real quick. I really believe that Auburn's chemistry would do better if you could eliminate two guys. That's Green and Flanagan. I think they're ball hogs. I don't think Flanagan has gotten any better. I think his best year was his sophomore year, and he's like a quarterback under Gus Malzahn. He's basically just gotten worse.
I will agree.
Flanagan's a ball hog. I think he's a guy that plays one-on-one in his driveway, and that's not all his fault because the guys have a tendency just to stand around when he's got the ball.
Yeah, I'm going to say that I agree with you on Flanagan. At times when I see him out there, just like last year, it looks like the team is hoping and praying that you get the better version of him, but for whatever reason, it's just not showing up. And, there's just a lot of pressing that goes when you're playing with somebody like that. Wendell Green, unfortunately for him, I feel like this team needs someone so often to just go make a play because we've just died down on the offensive end, especially in the half-court set. So
Auburn would be 5-6 without Wendell Green right now.
I know it. I'd say that it sounds good, and I do agree with you at moments where he tries to make plays that's not there, but I don't necessarily know that that's any fault of his own. I think that the players around him just look at him and say, please, we can't get anything going. Will you go make something happen?
But the problem I have with Green, Andy, is he just heaves up those 27, 28-foot jump shots. And he's across midcourt. He's a threat, and then I just don't see it. Bruce Pearl, he's got his system. He likes to do things his way. He doesn't like to lose. I can promise you that.
Oh, I agree. He does some things at times. He takes some bad shots at times, but he's our leading scorer. He is the offense right now that makes it go, and without him, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I agree with you, but do you not see what I'm saying? Do you agree with it or disagree with what I'm saying? The guys just tend to stand around and say, Wendell, make a play.
I agree. We did it last year with Jabari Smith. I thought we might be better, actually without him because that's what we started to do. We started to just stand around and watch him shoot, and that's good and bad. When you got a guy that can make them, but
I know people that said this, and I'm starting to believe it at Jabari last year and Walter Kessler last year. They hit a lot of Auburn's weaknesses because they were so good. And I'm starting to believe that. I believe there's more weaknesses. And this might be Bruce Pearl's best coaching job for the season's done. It'll have to be. That's for them to get better because what I've seen is a team that's not good enough to survive, let alone 23 turnovers, 15 turnovers, 11 turnovers. they can't survive that. They can't. They're not that good. And when you have a lot of depth, you ask for chemistry issues. It's harder to develop your chemistry when you have depth, because depth is so rare now because you have guys going to the NBA after 1 year like Jabari Smith. And it'll happen next year because you'll see the kids at Alabama and some others go pro early. It'll happen. The one and done thing. So appreciate it, guys. Y'all take care.
Thank you so much, Terry. Good
Terry.
points that he makes there. Ones that we're all trying to answer ourselves with this basketball team. And again, this may be one of those years where not all the answers come together.
Probably not. It'd be nice to see them bounce back to get a win tomorrow night, and then you start the SEC season. Who knows? I mean, SEC is tough regardless of, you look at a team like Florida who's 7-4, but, I mean, Auburn's notoriously struggled with Florida. They could be, they could be trouble. Mississippi State's undefeated right now.
Yep.
There's a lot of really good teams in the SEC, so it's going to be a struggle.
Arkansas is great. Kentucky's really good again.
Alabama's really, really good.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to –
Tennessee's
it's
outstanding.
an uphill battle.
Yeah, it's a little bit deeper than it has been the last few years.
Yeah. Got to take another break, but don't go anywhere. More to come on this edition of the Auburn Blitz.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom, Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Something big is coming. Something so big, it'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Hey, this is Doug Roberts, long-term resident of Alexander City. I sold my house with Century 21 Lake Area Realty because all my life I had heard that to sell a house you need 3 things: location, location, location. I found out there's actually 4. You need location, 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 and Rhonda Gaskins at Century 21 Lake Area Realty to sell your house fast.
Call me today and let me go to work for you. 256-749-3644.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom, Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Brubaker Motors in Montgomery is the largest and fastest growing used car dealership in the River region. You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker. It's better at Brubaker.com.
Brubaker, Brubaker, Brubaker.
You can absolutely get a better buy at Brubaker.
BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER. BREWBAKER.com.
It's better at Brubaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you. Just a couple of more segments in today's show, brought to you each and every day by Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, saving people thousands of dollars each and every year on their home mortgage and closing loans in about 15 days. Give them a call today for all your mortgage needs. 256-397-0248. 256-397-0248. Mortgage Pro, the Eric McKinley team, always looking out for your best interest.
Quickly, before we go to the phone lines, some stats from Hank Brown, newest commitment. Played at Lipscomb.
Or Hank Hood.
Hank Hood. I mean, if you sit back and just let Andy just roll with it, I've been taught by some
Hank Brown,
some other broadcasters that I work with. Just, man, if I'm a little off, just let it be.
That's just,
don't call me out.
Now, I want you to call me out.
Okay, well, this is Hank Brown.
Because brother, people will call me out if you don't.
Well, this is Hank Brown. He played at Lipscomb Academy for Trent Dilfer. Won a state championship. With numbers like this, you can understand why they won a state championship. Completed 73% of his passes last year for 3,264 yards, 47 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. That's pretty good numbers.
That's a pretty good number.
And he's a big kid, 6'4", 195. Now, don't look at his ranking, but, you know, you can take those rankings and shove them where the sun don't shine at times. But he's about the 1,400th player. Did I say that right? He's in about the 1,400s when it comes to overall ranking in the class of 2023.
Yeah.
You care about that?
Really?
Not really? Okay. Caller, you on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, James. How are you?
All right, let's talk about the NIL. Now, if we're supposed to have $15 million in NIL, now, how does that work? Just say, for instance, like Tank Bigsby, right? Tank finna go in the draft. Now, he'd probably be a fifth-round pick, make $300,000. You mean to tell me Auburn, and I'm not, Tank is all right, but he's about a fifth or sixth round pick. You mean to tell me Auburn couldn't say, well, we'll give you $1 million to stay, and at least he'll stay another year and get himself together, at least get life started. And Papo, don't go. We'll give you $800,000 and stay. So if you're not giving the people the money, then these guys must not be making no money over there or anywhere else, because people transfer and leave, and if you're giving money to people like you would think that they say they're giving money to people, then why are people leaving? Why do this NIL work? Auburn don't supposed to be giving people no money no way, but they got $15 million sitting over there. So why don't you give it to the players?
I'm sure they're giving it to somebody. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know exactly how it works, to be perfectly honest with you either.
Yeah, I mean, if you got, say Tank, I'm just using Tank and Papo. You got two decent players, and then the big defensive lineman Wood probably be a fifth-round pick. They ain't going to make no money. So you can say, well, hey, man, y'all stay here another year, we'll give you $800,000. We'll give you $750,000, $550,000. Look like nobody really ain't making no money but Bryce Young and Caleb Williams, and then the quarterback for Texas. Because why would guys be leaving if you giving them $450,000, $600,000? I'll stay in school as long as I can, especially if I'm going to be a low-round pick and get cut. But anyway, talk to me about the NIL, man. I do this work, man. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Very
Appreciate
good question. I wish I had an answer. I don't.
Surely Tank is going to be making more than $300,000 as an NFL draft pick.
Could be, but there's one thing for certain. I'll pull up exactly what it is. He's a third to fifth round pick. I haven't seen anyone say that he is a higher draft pick than that. Have you?
No.
Now, can he show up to a combine and run a 4.35 and have put on maybe 5 to 7 pounds but kept the speed, and everybody buy into the fact that he hasn't had an offensive line to play behind since he's been at Auburn, and look at the numbers of yards that he's had to make after contact at Auburn. That's the sales tool that his agent's going to have to do. And, you know, I can speculate that. I sent y'all one this morning. I mean, DJ James thinks he's a good enough player playing the pros. Did you see that?
I've seen that. He's deciding whether he wants to enter the draft.
But, like, I mean, Tank's a no-brainer.
We've had a pretty good run of cornerbacks going to the NFL.
I guess so. Did you watch him this year and think, man, he's a pro?
I watched him and thought he's probably the best we got.
Yeah, that ain't saying a whole lot. And yeah, that really wasn't saying a whole lot. I think he's a serviceable player, but I never looked at him and said, oh my gosh, Roger McCreary, are y'all watching this? Do y'all see how good this guy is in single coverage? He's the best player in the conference. I thought that about Roger McCreary and said it for 2 years. I watched DJ James. I knew he didn't play he played sparingly at Oregon, the reason he ended up at Auburn. And I called him in high school, and I thought something of him, but I didn't think he was a star. I'm not trying to knock the kid, but those are the ones that are like, where's he thinking about going? He's thinking about leaving to go as a 7th-round pick, possibly. I really would like to know the thought process behind that.
I think part of it's just the lure of the NFL for guys. They want to go and they want to. I mean, at some point we all probably got to that where you just are like, I'm done with college. I'm ready to go out and make my way into the world, and I'm ready to go out and take on the challenge of going to the NFL. If I can just get my foot in the door, I feel like I'm good enough that I can. I'll go to the combine. I'll increase my stock, whatever. People believe in themselves 1,000 times more than Then you look at it from the outside, and you look at it and you think, well, that guy's probably not. He could make a better decision, but how are you going to tell somebody that?
You're not.
Sometimes they believe what they're going to believe.
Back to what James asked, though, you feel like that you've got more ammo than you've ever had counting the NIL to be able to talk sense with a marginal player that would be one of your best players.
Yeah.
That's my point. Like, he's bringing up guys that are, unfortunately for Auburn, we're not talking about first-round picks. We don't get those. We've had like one in the last 6 or 7 years, haven't we? Maybe 2.
Yeah.
We've had Derek Brown.
Well, maybe that's the point. I mean, all this money, NIL money, is focused on why would you pay, Tank Bigsby money when you could use that money to buy a younger, true freshman phenom. Why focus that money on somebody else, a guy coming in?
Because I think you know what you already got with Tank. I think, unfortunately, with the phenom, you may get Johan Trail. That you were hoping for 13 a game, you getting a point.
Right.
So, I think anyone that watches Tank knows that you put an offensive line in front of him to go along with a backup running back that's just as good as he is, you're going to have a very serviceable backfield with some competent coaches around it. But neither here nor there. But I tend to agree with James. It feels like in today's world, you've got a lot more ammo than you ever did to say, look, let's figure out a way that we can meet in the middle on what this number is. Say you're going to make $1 million in the NFL. Let's figure out how we can get you 600 or 700 you stay here.
Yeah.
And it's worth 600 or 700 from Auburn's standpoint to keep them here. I agree with James on that.
Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. Maybe,
it didn't work for them.
Maybe the math didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Yeah.
Up against a break. Well, final segment coming up right after this.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Hey guys, this is Nate Paz with Airport Motors.
I'm Connor Branch with Fairway Auto Brokers in Opelika, Alabama.
And this is your first ever Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz.
That's right, Lake Martin. Airport Motors and Fairway Auto Brokers is teaming up for the very first Lake Martin Summer Car Blitz. Make sure to check out either website for the very best selection of pre-owned luxury trucks, SUVs, and sedans in East Alabama. Get pre-approved in minutes online and make sure to use the keyword Summer Blitz in the comments section for $500 off internet price. That's keyword Summer Blitz.
Need that boost to get you started in the morning or help get you through a long day at the office? Alex City Nutrition is your answer. Alex City Nutrition, located on 2nd Broad Street in downtown Alex City, offers meal replacement shakes, post-workout shakes, extreme rebuild products, and a vast array of loaded teas that offer focus, energy, and build up your immunity and overall health. Want to buy in bulk? We now offer your favorite flavors by the gallon. Come by Alex City Nutrition today or call 256-496-8284 to begin your journey to great health.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Tuesday afternoon. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. Signing Day Eve, tomorrow we'll kind of break it down. It'll start happening in the morning, and we'll see what this class looks like. Again, you know, a guy like Jeremiah Cobb, he might secretly, sign under the radar with Auburn, but not officially commit until February, signing with, making that announcement with the class. He may wait and put off and not assign, but I think he's solidly to Auburn. I don't think there's anything to worry about there with that. But two of Auburn's biggest needs, Randy, offensive line, defensive line.
Yep.
I look down through here, I see Clay Whedon, four-star offensive lineman. I see Braden Jordan, I see Connor Liu. I see Tyler Johnson, an offensive tackle, coming in high school. I see, look down here, I see projected to Auburn, Isaiah Miller, who's the, I think, number 1 or number 2 offensive tackle in junior college. Isaiah Jota, the number 2 or 3 offensive tackle in junior college. Both of those guys feel like very highly, strongly projected to Auburn. I see Amari Kite. I see Dylan Wade. I see Ben Scott. Kite from Alabama, Dylan Wade from Tulsa, where Philip Montgomery was, Ben Scott from Arizona State. So loading up on the offensive line, wonderful. Wonderful. Offensive tackles especially. Major need defensive line as well. I looked through there, Darren Reed, okay. 4-star guy out of Columbus, Georgia, 270 pounds. Wilkie Denard, 4-star guy out of Fort Pierce, Florida. I see Steven Johnson, the flip from Arkansas. There's one of your 960 player in the country, okay. But he's a big guy. He could be one of these big nose tackles in the 3-4 that you have to have in the middle. I look down through there, Deion Wilson, possibly from Arizona, a strong lean to Auburn. How are we satisfying the needs that we have?
We're trying. You know, some of these names are new to come on the scene in the last couple of weeks. I mean, my gosh, you can't expect a miracle to happen with a coaching staff when the previous one, I'm going to kind of piggyback off of Brett Pritchard. I don't know what you're paying the guy for.
Yeah.
The guy was, if he wasn't trying to bury your program, he was doing his best effort. And we will forever look back at what we got out of Brian Harsin and compare it to what we got on the basketball side from Tony Barbie. I remember doing a basketball recruiting show with you where somehow Andy Graham passes along to me. I remember sitting over at JR Sports Bar and Grill, in which, rest in peace to Ann Berry. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Ann was so good to us, passed a couple of weeks ago, and she really helped us get our feet on the ground as the owner of JR Sports Bar and Grill, and has stood behind us from day one, and we wouldn't be where we were if it wasn't for JR's and Ann and all that they've done for us. So we really appreciate her, and we'll be missing her for sure. But I remember sitting over there doing probably a sports call, or it was more than likely a sports call, and you go, and somehow Tony Barbie has gone over to Australia to recruit a kid named Jumpin' Jack Purchase to come and to play basketball at Auburn. And we can't get a kid from the state of Alabama to sign with us, but we're somehow traveling all the way across the world to go and look for a guy that wasn't even a big recruit at the time. He ended up being a decent college player. Ended up at Hawaii, I think, and averaged 12 or 13 points a game. And so I'm not picking at Jumpin' Jack Purchase, but I am saying that that's where we fell to, and that's exactly where Brian Harsin took this program, to the depths of the cellar that we never thought we would get to, and we will forever think of you, Brian Harsin, in that regard, along with the rest of you Idaho potato eaters that we ended up bringing down here by Allen Green. So my answer to you is we're trying, we're getting what we can, and what Auburn can gets better than a lot of places, but it will not be the top-tier guys that I'm hoping Hugh Freeze lands in the years to come.
But haven't you seen right now, I mean, it's not going to translate in this class, I don't think, but haven't you already seen the fact that what we've been talking about, even if we go out next year and go 7-5, you look at it and go, man, but this guy is, I mean, he is putting everything he's got into bringing in a top 10, top 5 type class in the next 2024, 2025. And that's given me some hope.
The only thing we asked for was Brian Harsin. I don't know how many programs that you and I defended the powers that be at Auburn that had already seen the writing on the wall. We had already heard, but we just weren't out here being the guys that aren't internally working. But all the recruitniks that write on a daily basis from Auburn were all saying the exact same things to us 1 year ago. I don't know what he does, Randy. Look, we want to go watch a kid play on Friday night, but we are in on so few athletes here in this state or with a 100-mile radius. We just going to watch guys that are top recruits, not because Auburn's after them, because we're not after them. Yeah. We're not even on their map. But it's pitiful. But yes, I can sense that. But it was all that we asked, and it will continue to be all that we'll ask out of Hugh Freeze. Show us some effort there. We'll expect a product to get better as you get the product of what you're throwing out there on each Saturday better. And it's impossible to not sell Auburn University. Am I asking you to catch up with Georgia and Alabama day one? No. But I think you can catch up with the rest of them Day one, because of the product that you've got to sell at all.
Brian Harson Bowl today, the Idaho Potato Bowl. Eastern Michigan and San Jose State at 2:30. Liberty, former Hugh Freeze coach team, versus Toledo at 6:30.
I won't be watching. I'm just going to throw that out there. You see me in my Wildcat gear, we'll call the Benjamin Russell Dable game tonight. Brett and I will be on the call for that, so tune in. We'll thank John Kennedy and his staff here for covering those games, and really looking forward to that out there tonight. It will tip at 6 o'clock. It's here at Benjamin Russell. It'll tip at 6. The girls' game, I think the girls' game was canceled by Dable, so we're not playing that one. So it'll only be 2 games tonight, so we'll tip that one about 6 o'clock.
He's Randy. I'm Andy. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.